Here comes a new challenger!
Hello there everyone, and welcome to a Smash analysis, and in this one's a quite sad one, that being Incineroar. Incineroar is such a sad case, because in reality, we're not looking to see what makes him good or what makes him bad. We're just here to talk about why he will forever be bad, unless something drastic changes with this character's design. With Mac, as an example, for a lot of people, Mac may seem to always just be a bad character. And while he is a low tier, at best, you know, Mac definitely has tools. You know, he's the third fastest character in the game. He's actually really good at moving between platforms. He has pretty good ledge trapping, all things considered, but that recovery is so bad, and his aerial game, like his aerials aren't that great outside of using them to like combo in and out of things, right? Like jab blocks, setups and all this sort of stuff. And that's Mac. Mac, unfortunately, he sucks, but he could definitely be better. He could definitely become better through buffs. But with Incineroar, Incineroar's been buffed a lot. And I mean a lot. I'm talking before, you know, a lot of these things, like he had a way worse recovery. All right, this used to be slower. Before, he only had two grabs. He threw two throws you'd use. Back throw and down throw, and down throw is a combo throw, back throw is a kill throw. But then they buffed up throw and forward throw to be kill moves, right? Like kill throws. All right, they made this stronger. They kind of buffed up revenge, which in a sense actually kind of made it worse, because how do I put it this way? He can't true combo out of it like he used to, but still it's pretty good. They buffed up the multiplier of revenge, which is crazy. I believe they made some of his aerials just overall better for comboing and stuff like that, and some of his tilts. Like, they've improved this character's moveset a lot, you know? A lot of his moves did get buffed. So then why will Incineroar always stay bad? And there's a simple reason for that. He's too slow, and not only is he too slow on the ground, but he's too slow in the air also. Like, sure, he's got some pretty high jumps and all that, but when it comes to a platform fighter similar to Mac struggles because no good aerials, no good recovery, and Incineroar struggles because no good movement and no good recovery. So hey, you know, something similar between them. Because Incineroar has a lot of tools that would make other characters just be a lot stronger. Like, if characters had his down tilt, or his up tilt, all right, or his down throw, you know what I mean? Like, if they had some of his moves, instantly those characters would be so much better just by merely having Incineroar's toolkit. All right, if characters had his up air, this is literally just Cloud up air from Smash 4, just a bit worse because that one was a destroy. You know what I mean? Well, yeah. So, you know, oh my goodness. So, you know, Incineroar seemingly has it all. They even buffed up his spike, because this down air used to suck at spiking. Now it's really good at doing that. I mean, it still can sour spot, but you get the point, right? They buffed up Incineroar a lot, yet despite all of his buffs, he's always remained, for a lot of people, low to mid tier. And the reason for that is because of his speed. Most Incineroars will just initial dash everywhere, because initial dashing everywhere is faster than just running and walking. I mean, he has the slowest walking in the entire game. So when it comes to Incineroar's movement, even on platforms, it's not that good. All right, I mean, you could do that, you know, some wavelands, but wavelands aren't really gonna help you, because at the end of the day, when it comes to like I would say like waveland grab and waveland tilts are pretty good, but that's only if you catch your opponent like that, you know what I mean? Like, they're on top plat. The thing is, if they're on top plat, you can also threaten with up tilt and even up smash. And I believe even like things like, I believe down throw F smash is true, though don't quote me on that, you know. But and this character can kill. Like, the problem isn't that he can't kill. This character could kill. I mean, with just side B alone, though, forgive my timing, I've been so stuck on on. I've been so stuck at home that I forgot the offline timing for a bit. So yeah, as you can see there. Yep, and let's try one more time. Yeah, wow, I have really been deprived. There you go. You know, that kills incredibly early, and also not just because they buffed it, but also like if you try zoning him out, obviously, or whatever the case may be, he can always just revenge, which is helpful. And but here's the problem with revenge. All right, so let's say you get it. All right, let's say you get it, right? Sure, your next move, whatever it may be, will be super powered up. I mean, I think at this point, even a jab will kill. If they didn't get locked out like that. Wow, Incineroar. Whoops. All right, let's try that one more time. Yeah, so I think even a jab would kill at this point. Close, you know, if you're closer to the ledge. But here's the problem with revenge. So let's say you're fighting an Incineroar, and they do manage to get revenge, either because you throw a projectile and they absorbed it, or they read you. You could just camp out on Incineroar, and then once Incineroar does a dumb option, right? You just grab him and you throw him, and there he loses the revenge. Or you hit him with something really strong and you knock revenge out of him, because that is also another method to taking out revenge. All right, so like for instance, let's have Mac fully charge this. This should knock him out of revenge. Yeah, look, out of revenge. So strong moves, obviously not like that strong, like smash attacks will still do it. A lot of character smash attacks will still knock him out of it. But you get the point, right? Revenge is an easy thing to lose for something that's really strong, obviously, but it's not a reliable thing to have. Off stage, I would say it's pretty good if you want to go for something like revenge side B off stage and get a kill like that, right? Because when you do this in the air, you do stall, or like you do stay in the air for quite a bit, right? So let's try doing that. Nah, I messed it up. It's so hard to do things when you're just one person. All right, maybe if we, yeah, but you see like you kind of slowly drift down for a second, especially if you get the correct timing or even the early timing. So not bad, I'd say, if you want to go for something like that with like revenge side B. But when it comes to just Incineroar, because of his slow speed, obviously other characters could just platform camp him, run away from him. He has no projectiles, so he can't zone, and his only option against zoning himself is his Cyclone, right? Darkest Lariat. The problem with Darkest Lariat is that, well, yes, it has invincibility, which means that he can essentially DP out of anything, or whatever the case is, right? Like you can hit him, but he himself won't get hit, at least in the initial part, right? Because his full body goes invincible and then the arms do. But even that's not reliable against zoners, because a lot of zoners either, like, okay, let's do some examples, right? Samus has a tethered grab, so even if he destroys a projectile, that's a free grab for Samus, and Samus can get combos off her grab, right? Who else is another example who's a zoner but doesn't really have that? Ness. Yeah, Ness has PK Fire, and PK Fire hits low. And the arms are invincible, but not the let's just slow this down. But not the full body. So things like PK Fire will hit him, and he's gonna get hit out of it. So that's always fun for Incineroar. Who's another great zoner as an example? A Game & Watch. Game Watch is not like zoner, but he has obnoxious projectiles, right? Like he has very obnoxious moves to deal with, and because of that, Incineroar is just gonna struggle against Game & Watch. Essentially, Incineroar will forever stay bad because he's designed to be this way, right? He's designed to be this really strong grappler, right? Who can kill you at like 60 to 80, right? Who's very powerful, has combos, has combo throws, has 30 kill throws, has all these things, has all of these great things about him. But he'll always stay slow. He'll always stay slow. He's meant to be the slowest character in the game, not just in run speed, but in walk speed, All right, the only thing he's not the slowest at in terms of ground movement is initial dash, and that's it. Which is why I mentioned earlier, you're just gonna be seeing this all the time, because doing this is better than doing this. You'll move a lot faster, and you know, you'll get to one side of the stage faster than just by doing a normal dash, and that's unfortunate. Incineroar shouldn't be this slow in my opinion, but then again, they've made him so strong in other areas that it's sort of like, well, in order for him to function, you'd essentially have to change a few things about him, right? First of all, in answer to zoning, this isn't good enough. He has to have a better way of dealing with zoning other than shield. All right, for instance, Mac, like I mentioned, third fastest character in the game, he may not have a projectile, but he can sure move, right? He can close the gap, right? He's got a counter that lunges him forward, so if he gets, you know, if he gets hit, he'll dash right to you, right? And potentially knock you out for that. You know, Mac has super armor smash attacks, which he can possibly get through disjoints. You know, characters with swords, for instance, he'll just pass right through and hit them or counter them, whatever the case may be, however you want to say that. Mac has a very low dash. I'm talking a very low dash. Like, this dash can go under some projectiles. I believe it can go under things like Samus's normal missiles. I don't know about super missiles though. I know it can go under things like Mario Fireball. That's how low to the ground Mac goes. So Mac has options against zoning. You know, obviously still weak aerials and weak recovery, but overall he can still close the gap. He can still manage to find ways to close the gap. Incineroar really can't. And that's really the unfortunate fate about this character. I think Incineroar would be a lot better if he was faster and they weakened his tools, but that's obviously not what they want to do. They want to keep him slow but really strong. Another thing, disjoints. Disjoints in this game, there's a lot of them, all right? There's going to be a future someday where Gimmer double jump against characters is really going to work out in the future, right? People are going to start actually doing that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like this it's a Phantom Footstool that has invincibility. It really works against Mario, like it really does. And Mario has to like literally attack you from the sides, but even that's a risk, right? And eventually people are gonna figure it out against Incineroar. And then Incineroar, who potentially has really good juggling, because he can send you above him, and he's got this massive up air. Well, guess what? This massive up air has no invincibility or invulnerability, which means that you could just Phantom Footstool this and escape Incineroar's juggling and then just run away some more. All right, so that's a no. That's not good. What else does Incineroar need? All right, so like I said, he needs something to deal with zoners and a way to deal with characters with swords. All right, he needs something to improve on those bad matchups. Now, I'm not saying he should have tools that should outright beat them, but I'm just saying make it closer to a fair fight. The thing is that Incineroar got to suck so much that that's never gonna happen, right? Like literally, you know, he beats up on Ken in his trailer, but Ken smokes it. Okay, I don't know about smoking Incineroar, but he's definitely a much better character than Incineroar, which is what I find funny. You know, and that's not to say, like, obviously I know some people say that this character is annoying, but his obnoxiousness comes from Wi-Fi. Offline, what's he really gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, there have been players that made him work. I believe like one named Doc, and oh man, there's like another Incineroar main. I'm forgetting his name, I'm drawing a blank. But there have been Incineroar mains that made this character work. But now either they don't play the character anymore, or they just moved on to something that isn't Smash. Hey, you know what? I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be associated with the community either. All right. But with that being said, Incineroar mains kind of dropped Incineroar. And why is that? Well, it's for all the things I mentioned already. I'm not saying that Incineroar should be super buffed to be like a high tier or anything. I'm just saying that Incineroar, well, I mean, I think Incineroar should be high tier. I think every character that's mid tier, low tier should be amongst high tier. Like, I want this game to just be nothing but high tiers and top tiers. But obviously, because of how some characters are designed, like Incineroar, that's never gonna happen. I hope that they find ways to actually improve this character, other than in the future, down tilt has a bit more stun, F tilt kills even harder, and up throw combos at early percent and then kills at late percent. Actually, that'd be not that bad, actually, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope that they find a way, because Ultimate, in terms of how they've been buffing characters, sometimes they buff characters but it ends up being a nerf, like with Revenge. I also mentioned this in my Belmont's video, my Belmont's analysis, how Belmont's through buffs got essentially nerfed. All right, and the only time they ever changed like attributes was for Mewtwo way early in the game, where they made him like 2 units heavier. So to that I say, this game really needs to whoever balances this game really needs to reconsider on how to buff and nerf characters, because this isn't like Smash 4. In Smash 4, I promise you, if Incineroar was in Smash 4, he would get movement buffs up the wazoo. All right, he'd be able to move around the stage, killing people left and right, taking stocks mad early. But this is Ultimate, and Ultimate does not like to overcompensate for a lot of characters. I think the only time they ever did was probably the Shotos, and I main those characters, so I would know. But anyways, so with that, I hope, like I said, someday they fix this character. We'll see, but Incineroar is a very sad case. I think he's probably the best example of a character that no matter how often you try buffing them, unless you buff them in the right areas, and this goes for a lot of Ultimate characters, right? I'm talking characters like Piranha Plant, Mewtwo as an example, characters like Ridley, Belmonts. If you don't buff them in the right areas, you're gonna see that they're not gonna make it that far. And I feel that someday, you call this a hunch, but I feel Incineroar might get a buff one day that just is an actual nerf, or he gets a nerf that actually kills him. Because in my opinion, offline at least, there is no reason to play this character. Online, sure, and he is a fun character to play, don't get me wrong. All right, he's definitely a fun character to play, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's a good character, right? I mean, Dan's a fun character in most Street Fighter games. I haven't played him in 5, but I know he's a fun character to play in most Street Fighter games. Doesn't necessarily mean that he's the best character in the game or anything like that, right? So yeah, hopefully we see more of this character. But with that all being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, this small little breakdown and analysis of Incineroar. Of course, if there's anything I got wrong, please feel free to tell me in the comments below, and let's have a discussion. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have an amazing day. Let's get to 1,000 subs before the end of the year. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Coming through, partner, we can do this right. You're the fire, I'm the wind tonight. Burning dread, ha, that's right.